Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you all sticking around through the break. Ooh, camera's being silly. All right, so the players are going to get ready, and they are going to switch up their decks, and they are going to play 7-point Singleton for the Championship of Champions. So let's give them just a few more moments. Please don't forget to follow and turn on those notifications so that you know when I go live. You can join me for my regularly scheduled Tuesday stream every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic with the Northern Paladins as part of the Tuesday night gauntlet. So I look forward to seeing some of you there. And then on Sundays now at 1 p.m. Eastern, that's 7 p.m. Central European Summertime, we play X Point Old School here on my stream. If you caught the stream earlier today, you would have seen that there was an absolutely stunning display of Magic on the stream. It was absolutely awesome, and you should definitely make sure that you come back for more. And this camera is still being dumb, but it is what it is. But you guys aren't here to see me. You guys are here to see the magic. So we are going to bring it back into the players who have their decks ready for the next match. Gentlemen, thank you very much for that. I know you guys had to switch some cards out from other decks and build some things. So this should be fun. So this is the grand finale of the Champion of Champions tournament, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, this
Yes.
these guys
For
all
the last
won
year of the first it's
an
like the
event throughout the
anniversary
year,
event for the first
and
year
then
of the 7-point
the
league.
8 of them got together yesterday and sorted it out. And these two are again faced up in the finals of
Give that a hearty
the
pile
Tournament
shovel.
of Champions. And I think
especially when it's
DFB
all
is 3-0.
matching CMCs.
So David Ellis needs to win
Take your time.
2 in a row.
Yeah. So yeah, it was double elimination. So now in this one, again, forgive me, I'm not sure. Because DFB, you don't have any losses. Do you just automatically get to play or draw first, or do you guys still determine?
No, I think we still roll.
Okay.
Yeah, we still roll, but it's best of 3 matches. However, 1 elimination, and then I'm out of the tournament, and I need to beat DFB twice in 2 best of 3 matches.
All right. So DFB would have to lose 2 best of 3s to not
Kind of
continue
a king
on.
of the hill advantage.
All right. So, all right. Well, gentlemen, I'll let you guys shuffle up, and I'll shut up and let you guys play some Magic, and we'll take a look at your decks. All right. Good luck, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Rich.
All right. And if you want to determine who.
Okay, Ken, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at the decks. So first we're going to take a look at DFB's deck. You're going to see a lot of similarities. Again, his patented White Weenie deck, but this time he's got the point cards. And when he was talking about the Haymakers, obviously the biggest thing is Armageddon and land tax. Are huge in his deck. If he can get an early land tax, he can get a huge advantage on almost anybody. Armageddon catches a lot of people off, catches a lot of people off guard, and then Balance can help get games back into his favor. Maze of Ith is just an amazing card, and then Caracas is really good as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same list. I think he just eliminated a couple of the quote-unquote chaff cards, but White Weenie is a tried and true strategy. I think it's likely one of the first decks ever invented.
Yeah.
And DFB has a finely well-oiled machine here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the cards look like junk, but the key for him is to just play a creature on turn 1, play a creature on turn 2, play a creature on turn 3, buff them, and essentially just run over David Ellis.
It's just basically a white version of Sly. That's really what it is. So now we're taking a look at David Ellis's deck. Interesting combination of green and blue and white. This his point cards. He's got some really strong cards with Time Twister, Regrowth, Sylvan Library, Time Walk, and Brain Geyser.
Right. I mean, it's just good stuff. But his Time Twister is a real interesting choice. I don't often see Time Twister in this type of list, but he's just got a lot of +1 type card advantage spells with Rubinia, Preacher, Old Man, Argivian Archaeologist. He's trying to get the value plays,
Right.
and then he's got some fatties. He's playing 1, 2. He's playing 6 creatures with a power of 4 or greater. Yeah. So on turn 4 or turn 5, I expect him to play something that is going to be just simply bigger than anything DFB has in his deck. Mm-hmm. And Ellis is going to do it consistently. If DFB doesn't have the answer for that big creature, it could spell disaster. But this is a classic matchup.
And just like with the previous matchup for their 0 point matches, it's going to come down to what is David Ellis's life total going to be when he gets to stabilize, because DFB is going to put a lot of pressure on early. So we will have to see.
Yeah, and again, I think what David Ellis is looking for, he's looking for. He wants to be at 10 life when DFB's hand is empty. And I think that's a happy place. DFB doesn't have Red Burn. He has no way to kill David Ellis if David Ellis is able to resolve an Angel or a Djinn and get it to hang around on the board. Mm-hmm. One notable card that David Ellis is not using is Mana Drain. He chose the Time Twister instead of the Mana Drain. And I think in this matchup, that may have been the wrong choice. But, we'll see.
Yeah. So the players can start whenever they want, and we are looking forward to a great couple of matches, guys. Good luck. So I think they're in the tank about mulligans. All right. So,
and there he goes.
Land into Thunderwolves. Go. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Island go. Not terribly surprising. So David Ellis wants to get some early advantage here, mm-hmm. but he's not bleeding too bad.
Hamru Kithkin. So a couple of 1/1s on the table.
Kithkin is interesting. Ellis can't really block the Kithkin with anything except the Old Man of the Sea, which is or the Soul Singer, I guess.
Yeah, Amru Kithkin has been pretty good for DFB in all of these White Weenie decks that he has been playing. So
yeah, don't sleep on it, man. Kithkin with the Blessing. That's a brutal combo.
And that Strip Mine could end up being pretty huge for DFB because of the fact that David Ellis is playing 3 colors. Samite Healer.
I think he wants to just go ahead and strip that island right now.
I think so too. I think that is pretty good for him to do. He might be in the tank on whether or not he's going to do that.
Because he doesn't want David Ellis to get that Old Man of the Sea into play.
Right.
He doesn't want David Ellis to get an Urnham Djinn into play. There it goes. He gets the planes.
All right. That's a good strategy because
that's
of
a good
all
choice.
The white
He keeps
removal.
on Wrath of God.
Yeah. So no Wrath of God, no Swords of Plowshares, no Disenchant. Not that Disenchant does anything right now. Okay, that Factory is good.
No, Factory's all right.
Mm-hmm. So Factory can block a Kithkin.
Yeah, Factory can block a Kithkin.
Yeah, Factory can block everything that is on the table. All right, so I'm going to assume there's going to be an Army of Allah coming right now if DFB is swinging with everything. So David Ellis needs to make the decision to block here and see what he can take.
DFB is going to Windmill Slam.
Oh wait,
Disenchant.
no. DFB only has 2 mana, so he probably has a removal spell. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
No, it's got Summoning Sickness. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
he's gonna
So
Gain
David Ellis
2,
goes to 18
and
off the
then take
plow
3.
and takes 3
Down to 15.
down to 15. And DFB is very happy about that exchange because now he's eliminated 2 mana. If David Ellis, he'd be at 5 mana right now, so he'd be casting like, you know, Air Elemental, Urnum Djinn. He'd be casting all these fatties that are going to stop DFB in his tracks.
Good play for David here would be if he had his Untamed Wilds, but no, instead he goes Time Walk. Okay, so untap, take an additional turn. Hope he can play a land. There he goes. All right, so but he still doesn't have double white, so he needs to play something that's a threat here. Urnum Djinn.
That's what I was saying. Yep.
Yeah. So and that Amru Kithkin can still get through. So,
Amru Kithkin gets through. It's and Urnum has to give a creature. Urnum is obviously going to give the Kithkin Forest Walk. Oh, he's going to send home.
Okay. There's a Maze of Ith on DFB side of the table. Whatever gets blocked is going to get mazed more than likely, but maybe not.
He can't block the Kithkin, Rich. Do you want to tell him that just for future?
The Kithkin can't get blocked by the Urnum Djinn?
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, whichever one was blocked was getting removed from combat, and then.
So now, Ellis takes 3 and goes to 12. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay. So.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether which one of those 1/1s he blocks, but it could come into play if he's thinking he can block it in the future.
Right. Absolutely. So all right. So no more white mana for David Ellis.
That's painful. I mean, he's got a Spirit Link, Swords to Plowshares. Maybe he's sitting on a Preacher, or he could even have Soul Singer. But without that white mana, he's in trouble. He's got let's see, 6. He's got 9 white sources. So he's and the Untamed Wild. So he's got to be, and a bird. So he's got to be seeing a white source sooner or later.
All right. So. He passes the turn. And how often do you see Urnum on defense against a bunch of 1/1 creatures? Alright, so Urnum is blocking the Thunderwolves. Thunderwolves gets removed from combat. Ooh, Psyblast. Oh. Okay.
And DFB will take that.
Yep.
DFB is feeling really good about the situation right now. I'm sure he'd love to have an Armageddon, but yes, I think
Armageddon would be really
happy.
good here. All right, so the Samite Healer gets Forest Walk, attacking with the Urnum Djinn. All right, so he has a follow up. All right,
Ooh.
Fat Mahdi, Mahamadi Djinn. Okay, so. Things are...
They're turning around.
They are turning around for David Ellis.
DFB's on a 2-turn clock. He's got to save the maze to keep these fatties at home.
Yeah. Okay, so we're definitely coming through with 1, and then he blocks 1. Yeah, all right, so 2 more coming in.
Oh... That is a fantastic.
That is a Preacher. Okay, so this.
I think he was probably just waiting for that Plains. He, Yeah,
this is definitely not very good for David Ellis.
Well, David Ellis isn't kaput yet. The pass, I would have attacked, I think.
Yeah, an attack definitely had to happen there.
9 damage puts him to 7. I mean, ugh. But I don't know. Okay. We'll see what happens.
All right. So giving him the Urnum means that, Force Walk doesn't mean anything against a deck that doesn't have.
Yeah, he's still going to deal 2 damage to him right here, though.
Yeah. Armageddon.
Oh,
Angelic Blessing. All right. Counterspell.
Okay.
Okay, so block the first striker, take 2 more. Down to 4.
There it
Some
is.
white mana. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Well, if he's got a plow, he's going to plow the preacher
Yeah, surprise
at the
blocker.
declaration of combat, but he's still going to take 1 damage.
Yeah.
Can he
Down to
pump his soldier, or does that soldier give first strike?
I believe that's the one that does banding or first strike or something. All right, so
That's it.
that is a concession. Game number 1 goes to DFB. Whoops. Sorry
He is
about
on
that.
a roll today.
All right, so this is the grand finale of the Championship of Champions, and DFB is up a game in the first match. If DFB wins this match, it is over. If David Ellis comes back to win the next 2, then we will play another match because it is double elimination. So
Well, DFB has to. It is 3 of 5. So
no,
David
it
Ellis
is 2. It is
still
2 of
doing
3.
just fine, but he
These
you know,
are
he's
2 of 3.
he's got to draw the
for
right
this.
cards to overcome this initial onslaught. He really wants that Wrath of God to resolve.
All right, so we're taking a look at David Ellis's deck here again. So getting rid of that white mana source was definitely huge for DFB. I'm sure that it had an impact on anything that David Ellis could cast.
Well, to be honest, DFB drew that white mana source and he didn't cast it. But the only thing that he's going to do with a single white mana that's effective is the sword, maybe the Spirit Link.
Right.
I think I would have gotten rid of a blue, but it turned out that it was fairly inconsequential which land it was. I think Ellis was just kind of struggling to bring things online. But losing 2 mana early put him in a
Yeah, he
deep
did
hole
get rid
after
of the
that
blue,
factory
right.
got.
He just never drew the
plowed.
white. Yeah. So, all right, and then DFB's deck doesn't normally have mana problems because you don't have mana issues very often when you're only playing one color. So. All right, players are getting ready.
So Ellis is going to be going first here, and I think just about the optimum start for him is going to be an ivory tower, a bird, or a sylvan library. He really wants to see those cards in his opening draw because he's got to use this stuff to get ahead initially.
Right, and for him to get ahead, he needs to put something big on the table that is bigger than anything that DFB has. So
Well,
that
he did that
block.
twice last game, and DFB used the maze to outflank Ellis's blocker.
Right.
And then he stole the Mahamoti.
Yeah.
And
So
DFB's list also, he's got King Suleiman. King Suleiman can't be underestimated in this matchup because it eliminates 3. Ellis is using Serendib, Urnum, and Mahamoti, so that King Suleiman could be an interesting card if it can resolve, lands on the battlefield. It could do some cool stuff.
that would definitely be pretty cool if we do get to see that activation. So in in my 0 points deck, I had what is the guy? I'm drawing a blank. He's the 3 mana guy from. He's a 1/2. He's red. He taps to destroy a blue
Spinal
creature.
Villain?
I'm sorry?
A blue creature, Spinal Villain?
Yeah, Spinal Villain. Yeah, I had a Spinal Villain in my deck. King also kills Old Man. MTG Misprint coming up with that. Yeah.
King is Old Man was a summon Majid or something, and
Yeah,
now
and
he's a Jinn,
now
I
it's
think.
now he's a Jinn. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I got to use my Spinal Villain to kill a Serendib Efreet, which was pretty nice. Only got to use it once, but that's okay. Sometimes that's all you do, and sometimes that's the only reason that you play these cards. All right, so
Right.
Banalish Hero, 1/1 with banding. DFB knows the banding rules inside and out, and he will definitely use it to his advantage. For example, he would do a group block and assign the damage how he wanted to, and not lose anything. He has also attacked with bands before, so... Alright, 3 mana, here's that Thunder Spirit. Alright, so David Ellis has to feel pretty good that he hasn't taken any damage, and it's turn 4.
Yeah, I think David Ellis is happy with the state of the game right now. He can handle a Thunder Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really that turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 creature drop that puts Ellis in trouble. That Aeolipile is fantastic.
Aeolipile is nice, and especially if he can get something going with Archaeologist, and he can recur the Aeolipile, it's almost as good as as Chaos Orb.
Against DFB, Aeolipile is it kills everything in the deck except for the Angel, I think.
Yeah, so as long as there's no Anthem on the table. Alright, so DFB attacking with a band. Banding the Banalish Hero and the
it's aggressive
together. Yeah. So Divine Offering on the Factory. Okay. Alright, so David Ellis takes 3. That worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, I mean, I almost would have just sandbagged the Aeolipile right there.
Mm-hmm. Disenchant on the Aeolipile. Good play from DFB. Get rid of that guaranteed source of damage.
Yeah, well, now that Thunder Spirit becomes a problem.
I mean,
Oh, that's a good
If I were DFB and you know, you told me that you were going to get to trade a disenchant for a removal spell and not lose your creature, then I think he'd be pretty happy. So,
yeah. But then again, DFB's got plenty of creatures and only 1 disenchant.
right.
So, you know, we'll see how that works out for him.
And the Sylvan Library could put in some work.
So Ellis carefully left his planes untapped there, which I think was kind of telegraphing that he's got possibly a disenchant or maybe a plow.
We'll see. All right, attacking with a band. All right, so DFB using the band here. Well, even though the factory can block the entire band, that would mean that DFB could assign the damage how he wants. So even though the factory would end up dealing 3 damage, DFB, for example, could throw all 3 damage on the Banalish Hero and keep the Thunder Spirit alive, and then
that's a good trade.
And that's exactly what happened.
He likes to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's thinking, which means that he's got 2 cards. He picks up 2 mana. Okay, he's going all in. So maybe he was considering playing... Should I play the Archer? Should I play the Preacher? Should I play Jihad? I mean, who knows, but...
Wrath of God.
Wrath of God.
No, Control Magic.
Ooh.
Okay. Control Magic on the Thunder Spirit. All right, that's fine.
It's not, man. That's painful because the Thunder Spirit has first strike.
Yeah.
So it's like the Aeolipile. That 2 damage will kill just about anything in DFB's deck.
Mm-hmm. All right. David switching out, instead of using a sleeve that's the same color of his deck, he switched it out to something different to represent that Thunder Spirit.
Thunder Spirit's one of those cards I never purchased. It was so expensive back in the day. I think when Chronicles came out and Thunder Spirit wasn't reprinted, I think it became like a $40 or a $50 card, which was really pricey back then.
I was fortunate enough 2 years ago. Star City Games comes to Syracuse at least once a year during non-COVID times, and when they last came, they had 4 quote-unquote HP Thunder Spirits that they were selling for $80 a piece for English ones, and this is when the English ones were going for like $150 to $200. So I'm not sure what they're at right now, but I was definitely okay with grabbing them for $80 a piece.
Yeah, it's a cool card. It's one of those cards I've always wanted. I just, for whatever reason, never really have purchased it.
Yeah. I really liked Thunder Spirit back in the day, and back in the old days of 1.5, where the 1.5 and Type 1 lists were, the banned and restricted lists were linked to each other, I would play Thunder Spirits in my White Weenie deck then, too. Huh. It was always a fun card for me. Ellis
just refilled his hand. He's got the Thunder Spirit blocking. I think he's at 15. I think DFB is hurting just a little bit right now.
Yeah. Crusade's reciprocal. So now the Archer is a 3/3. Or sorry, the Thunder Spirit is a 3/3.
Yeah, well, they're all... I mean, it's kind of a wash here.
All right, so he gave a banding and is attacking with the band. All right, so this is not a profitable block for David Ellis.
Well, no, it is, because David Ellis... Oh, his first strike is going to deal 3 damage.
Yeah.
And then he's going to assign 2 to the Archer and 1 to the infantry.
And DFB wouldn't lose anything, and David Ellis would end up losing the Thunder Spirit.
Okay, so now he's thinking better of choosing to block.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's deciding he doesn't want to block.
Oh, and I have the life totals incorrect on screen. It's currently 15 to 20.
Okay, so now Ellis goes to 11.
Okay. But now David Ellis gets to untap with a library and with... Oh, he forgets to activate his library. He's got a fistful of cards. Yeah, Blazer in chat. Banding confusing players since 1993. Absolutely.
I never... banding gets that... I never understood what was so complicated about banding. I've always understood it. I mean, maybe there's something I don't understand about it, but I've never had any trouble with banding.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not all that complicated. There is a lot of rules baggage that comes with banding.
Yeah.
And it's something to easily forget about.
Yeah, I think in any event.
I had a pretty sweet play against an opponent. I had a creature with banding on the table.
There he goes.
I had a creature with banding on the table, and he attacked with a ball lightning, so I assigned all 6 damage to my banding creature. So...
Okay. It's first strike, so you have to assign the damage first.
Mm-hmm. If you get to the damage step.
Yeah.
The disenchant's gone out of DFB's deck, so... Blazer has an excellent point in chat. People generally don't know the rules of Magic. They go by what they have experienced and rule of thumb. Yep. Banding forces you to read the rules and know the rules. Absolutely. Okay, so the Archer is down. The Thunder Spirit is down.
Yeah. I mean, but David Ellis is still happy about that. He's got plenty of cards in his hand. He's just facing down a pair of 1/1s.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 6 mana.
And
I mean, if he puts a strike down or a Jin, he's
remember
fine.
To use the Sylvan Library. He plays down a Mahamati, so this could end up doing him some good.
Yeah, and I mean, at 11 life, I think I'm attacking with that Mahamoti. I'm not even thinking about blocking.
Right.
It's a 4-turn clock. He can end this game really fast.
All right, so DFB probably has Army of Allah in his hand right now.
Yeah.
Attacking with this. If he blocks, he casts Army of Allah, loses 1 creature, and gets rid of the Mahamati Jinn. So
yeah,
this seems like a good play.
Oh.
If he does have Army and David Ellis does not block, then he's taking a whole ton of damage. So
I think if I'm DFB, I'm hanging on to that Army of Allah if he doesn't block. I'm just dealing 2 damage.
yeah.
And David Ellis he knows what DFB's up to.
Yeah, they have open deck lists. So
yeah.
Like, I know that DFB has David Ellis's deck on a screen right now that he's looking at. All right, so he takes the 2.
Yep. White Knight. The hits keep coming. And so next turn, David Ellis has to block or he dies to a...
Yeah, because White Knight coming onto the table for DFB is huge. So there is a ton of damage coming through on the next turn.
Man,
and
I want to know what
might
David
end up
Ellis has in
using
his
the
hand.
attacking with a band as a bluff. So
he's showing his counterspell. Tell him to pick his hand up.
I think, he just... I'm not sure if DFB told him or if he just did it on his own.
No,
DFB
did not tell him. But I don't think DFB's he's above reproach, of course. But that counterspell, I saw it, and that counterspell is going to stop the Army of Allah, and the Jinn is going to eat a creature, and it could squeak David Ellis back into this game. And he's getting to fix all his draws with the Sylvan, so counterspell's a great card.
Trooper, yes. Is this the 7 points winner's tourney? Yes, this is the finale. DFB is up a game and he has not lost a match. They played yesterday for about 6 hours. David Ellis has a loss. This is double elimination, so if David Ellis can come back and win this match, then there will be another match between these 2 players. All right, time.
That's wonderful. So that's what he had in his hand. That's what he scooped off the Brain Geyser.
Seems good.
He wanted to get that Mahamoti to swing across, and so that's why he played that first, which is fairly bold.
He called his deck Bant Walk. Nice.
So, yeah, there's so many cool things that Ellis could do here. He could regrowth that Time Walk. He could regrowth and then Time Twister. I mean, what is he looking for specifically? If he's got the counterspell, I think maybe he wants like a Trike or an Aeolipile or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Triskelion would be really good here. Regrowth on the Time Walk.
There we go.
Oh, on the Control Magic. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. He has his own White Knight there, so that he can just have that there. So okay, so David Ellis is tapped out, and attacking with a Mahamoti Jinn. All right, so DFB takes it. All right, so life totals are now 10-9. DFB's at 10. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that disenchant is still in DFB's graveyard, so he can't get it back. Caracas. That would have been good if there was a legendary creature on the table, but there is not. Alright, so
now DFB is considering, how do I push through this last 9 damage? Because DFB's on he's only got 2 turns left with that Jinn coming over.
yeah. Attacking with them both separately.
Unbanded.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is an easy block. He's got to block one of them. DFB, is that the one that can pump other creatures? The one?
Yeah, it can pump soldiers.
Yeah, he can pump. Yeah, he can pump soldiers. So he can give banding to something, which doesn't matter when they're attacking.
Yeah, you can't band in combat, so it's inconsequential.
Okay, so he does block. There is a pump.
So Ellis goes to 7.
Yeah. Divine Offering on the book.
And now DFB goes to 14, which
Yes.
buys him another turn.
Yep.
But he's on the ropes here. He can't push through that 7 damage with an army of Allah. Maybe he's got
All right,
a jihad.
So David Ellis could swing here for 7 unblocked. So unless DFB has a Swords to Plowshares, that is half of DFB's life total. And then David Ellis can deploy something.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's it. That's it. I think DFB's got to pack it up. Just the Jinn.
Okay. Seven to 9.
I can tell by DFB's tone of voice. I think he realizes the writing's on the wall for this game.
Well, that makes for good content because we'll get some more magic.
Yeah. This is what's so fantastic about Singleton. I mean, DFB's deck is just lightning fast, but still, these games, there's a lot of interaction in Singleton that you just simply don't find in other formats. So DFB's trying to figure out how to fill this hole, climb out of it.
Swords of Plowshares is a good way to start, but
I mean,
you have to draw it.
It's too little, too late. I think.
Right, and I mean, David Ellis has flashed the counterspell, but he keeps on tapping his blue mana. So,
Yeah.
all right, Angelic Voices makes his creature a little bit bigger, which makes it more difficult for things like Old Man of the Sea.
Yeah, Old Man of the Sea can still take it though. You know. Yeah. So Psionic Blast. Okay.
Attacking, might as well.
No. Take your guy and then attack.
I'll take the guy and then attack. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so DFB is down to 2.
Nothing. Maybe a balance. Yeah.
Oh! And the counterspell.
Counterspell.
And
Yep. He had to wait until he took it because otherwise he would balance and be left just staring at the Mahamodi.
So, all right, so we're getting a game 3, which is great in this best of 3. So if David Ellis pulls this one off, we will have another best of 3 match after this. If Dave Firth Bard wins game number 3, then he is the grand champion. So
No, are you sure it's best of 3 and not
Yeah.
best of 5? This is a finals match.
yes. I double checked with Thomas yesterday, and the players. It is best of 3. The entire tournament was best of 3. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. All right, so let's take a look at bringing up the points cards. So there are 35 cards on the points list for 7 points Singleton, varying in points from 4 down to 1. Anything else that isn't on this list is a 0-point card. So DFB has Balance, Caracas. He also has Armageddon and Land Tax, which are all phenomenal cards, obviously. And
Well,
then,
let's be honest though, Caracas is not a phenomenal card.
well, and it can be in certain matchups. Yeah.
It's not good, but I do like the fact that it's pointed, simply because if it weren't pointed, as you know, Thomas pointed out to me, I said, how come Caracas is pointed? And he said, well, if it wasn't pointed, anyone playing white would just stuff it into their deck,
Right.
and then no one could ever play Legends. And I totally see, I understand that, and that's why it's pointed. But if it weren't for encouraging the playing of Legends, Caracas is not worth a point. You can't tell me Caracas is as good as Sylvan Library under any circumstances.
Definitely not. Again, David Ellis, his pointed cards, the 2 points allotted to Brain Geyser, 2 points allotted to Time Walk, and then 1 point each for Time Twister, Regrowth, and Sylvan Library.
Yeah. And the more that I look at Ellis's list, I do like the Time Walk, because he's got the Archaeologist, the Old Man, Rubinia Soul Singer, and Preacher. So he's got 4 different creatures that he wants to deploy, and then he really wants to get at least 1 activation out of these guys, and that Time Walk allows him to do it. So it's kind of a sneaky card. You don't often see people Time Walk so that they can use an Old Man of the Sea, but in this format, that's a very strong play.
Mm-hmm. So again, DFB. Now he basically has pre-sideboarded cards with creatures that have protection from black, protection from red, just a whole gambit of things that are a nightmare for decks to deal with. But in this matchup, it really isn't going to be any kind of a problem, which is just one of those scenarios where DFB is facing a deck that is okay with taking, starting the game at 10, just like you said, and putting a lot of pressure on, and then Dave Firth Bard needs to finish it off. David Ellis is okay and comfortable with basically playing control for a couple of turns, and then landing a big dude, and then trying to ride one of the big creatures out to victory. So. Players still shuffling up. It looks like TFB took a mulligan. Yeah, Blazer pointing out we haven't seen a land tax yet. Turn 1 land tax is really good. It could end up being like Lancestral Recall, a nice little nickname for the card. So.
I want to see a Mesa Pegasus. That's the card I'm looking for.
All right, Caracas
There it
Banalish
is.
Hero. One thing
Caracas
about
Banalish Hero really is a staple vintage play.
Yeah. One thing about the Caracas from DFB's deck, though, is it basically prevents David Ellis from playing the Rubinia Soul Singer at any point in time.
Right, but it's not worth a point, is all that I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got you. Maybe half a point or something.
Yeah.
If they ever go to half points. So is that Keeper of the Faith? Is that what that is?
There's the vultures. So this is pressure, and he needs that Sylvan Library to find him some answers. A Serendip Efreet would be really good right here. It, maybe an Old Man of the Sea if he can get that second island on board.
I think
but
maybe he should pay 4 life here to dig deeper.
I would if I didn't see what I wanted. I'd pay 4 life now. You want to pay 4 life now and get deeper. You don't want to wait. I feel like you want to be more aggressive against a fast deck. He needs to get into some sort of answer.
All right, so mana. So now he's got access to all 3 colors. Serendip Efreet.
That's what I called, man. I said the Serendib is optimum. It keeps those three guys home. And if he attacks here, he's got Army of Allah.
Attacking with 3 separate creatures. Okay. No banding. All right, so he blocks the banding creature. Good call.
Does Olsai Vultures get a token? There we go.
Yep.
So Clergy is auto regen, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a Naf's Asp. It makes the opponent, it taxes the opponent a little bit. So now David Ellis drops to 14. What's he thinking about? Has he got a control magic? It's kind of interesting that DFB just threw his hero away to push 2 damage across. I'm not sure if that was the best play.
Oh, I see. Oh, Divine Offering. Wow. All right, so DFB's at 24. David Ellis is down to 14. I like that play of playing the IC before the attack. And then keeping the Dib back is decent. But
no, he's got to. He's got to play defense. He can't relax here. Yep. Because with that Banalish hero and David Ellis tapping out, he could have just attacked in a band, killed the Dib, and the Clergy takes all the damage, and Ellis wouldn't have been able to pay the tax to prevent the regen. All these oddball creatures with these oddball abilities, just it makes the game really interesting.
All right, so Pendlehaven from David Ellis. All right, so he now has 5 mana.
Yeah, so he's going to play a Air Elemental or a Sarah Angel.
Yeah, he has access to enough mana in the right kinds to play either one. All right, so this leads me to believe that that's what he's going to do by attacking.
He attacks to see if he's going to plow it, and when he doesn't, then he says, "Okay." I mean, obviously,
but he didn't. He just said go, and now DFB is attacking. All right, 4 mana from DFB. It's got to be an Armageddon, right?
I would love an Armageddon. He doesn't want it to get countered though. Oh, Witch Hunter.
Witch Hunter. All right, that's not
beautiful. Bad. No, that's great. Witch Hunter can return that Dib to his hand, or just deal 1 damage, which is actually it's a clock. Ellis needs to find something. I mean, he's got the cards to do it. He's got the mana. There's a lot of outs for him still remaining. Finally, the trike.
That works. Okay, so kill the vultures first, and then kill the Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to kill the vultures first. That's the right play. Kill the Witch Hunter. Can't do anything about the Clergy.
Yep.
Because he's tapped out. But then now he can swing for 3.
I would not attack. I don't think.
Because of the factory?
Yeah. David Ellis just isn't at a high enough life to play around, but he's here playing in this match and I'm not. So he's made the right choices in the past.
All right, so it is now 10 to 18. Disenchant. What's he targeting? Is he targeting the trike? Yeah, targeting the trike. All right, got to throw the point at the face.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That prevents the damage.
more.
That works too.
And now Ellis has to start worrying about his own dib killing him.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's at 8. He's going to 7.
But Ellis has cards in his hand. He's fixing the top of his deck. He knows what his next 3 draws are. So he's got a lot more information than any of the observers do. So, he puts that trike down and kind of clears the board, cleans everything up.
Mm-hmm.
We have to assume that he's got another fatty. I mean, he's got 9 of them in the deck.
Lindsay in chat saying trike plus Pendelhaven would have been great. Oh yeah, definitely so. All right, regrowth.
Ooh.
Seems good. Getting back that trike. Armageddon.
If he doesn't have the counter.
He's got the counter.
Ooh. Yep, of course.
Well, I mean, DFB played it right. He had to make him have that counter spell right then and there. So.
Yeah, well, last turn I knew that he had the Armageddon. He telegraphed it, and instead he played the Witch Hunter, which I think is the right play. Ellis at 6 now. Again, his own dib is going to become problematic.
Okay, don't tap your Pendelhaven. Don't tap your Pendelhaven.
Ugh. Yeah, because the Pendelhaven can buff the trike, know?
Once the counters are gone.
Yeah.
All right, 15 to 6. Okay. He doesn't care about the King Suleiman because he can kill.
Well,
us
he
with the
doesn't
strike.
care right now. But he's... You don't need to shoot anything before your turn. I mean, I would just untap and see what's up. See, I think I would have maybe... Well, I don't know.
All right, so David Ellis down to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Not putting enough pressure on DFB.
Well, he's got a 3-to-1 ratio here if he just keeps swinging with the Serendib. So I think he's still able to just kill with the dib. But if DFB can push any damage through, it's going to spell doom.
For example, if something gets forest walk from an Urnamjin.
Another fatty.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
well,
DFB now is looking for... Gosh, I don't know. Maybe a balance would be good.
I mean,
I think right now this game is for David Ellis. Unless something drastic happens, I think I think David Ellis is going to wrap this one up.
Okay, it looks like that is the case, and we might be playing another match.
Yeah. Ellis goes to 4.
Mm-hmm. So the clergy has Forest Walk.
So
Removing the counter, killing the clergy. Attack with the 2 Arabian creatures.
yeah. So we've got DFB
Right. DFB's down to 5.
now dead next turn.
Birds of Paradise. Okay, that doesn't do it.
Ping the wolf.
Wolf is down. Down to 3.
Yeah, so I think barring a plow or maybe a divine offering or a disenchant, I mean, DFB is dead to rights here.
Yeah. Well, DFB already used both the divine offering and the disenchant, so
Okay.
it's only a plow. Because
Yeah.
the divine offering on
The icy.
the icy, right? And he cast disenchant. Was this the game where he disenchanted the
No, I don't think
area
so.
pile? Okay. Activating the factory. Blocking something. Still dying to lethal.
That's it. Oh,
Okay, so let's go in and talk to the players real quick.
oh, wonderful. Yeah, so again, that was a glaring example of how Sylvan Library for 1 point versus Caracas for 1 point is a very unbalanced power level for 1-pointed cards.
Didn't pan out that
Gentlemen,
way. Okay.
wow, that was a great match. All right, so
Bench.
that means that we have to play one more match of Magic, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yippee.
so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. All right, and then we will be back, and we'll get you guys playing in match number 2.
Sounds good.
Ooh.
All right, everybody,
These
stick
are
around. We do
whirlwinds
have
of
one more
damage.
match of Magic, so don't touch that dial. We
That
will
was a
be
good
back
one.
in
Yeah.
just a few moments.
Although I did
So,
enjoy,
we will be back.
you know, that was a pretty firm stomp on the black.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you all joining the stream. So, we have just watched as David Ellis took down DFB in match number 1 because it is double elimination and DFB did not lose a match during the entire event. That means that we are going to play another match. So, this one is going to be for the Champion of Champions. So, we are bringing you back into the players. It looks like DFB has a drink. David Ellis has stepped away for a moment, it looks like, and we will get ready to play this match here again in just a moment. So, how you feeling after that one, DFB?
Really neat. Yeah, I mean, I guess the tail of the tape from that match was like he had the counter spell for the haymakers in both games, right? When I tried the balance, he had it, and when I tried the get him in game 3, he had it. So
Right. So,
sometimes he's gonna have it, you know.
mhm.
Yeah, I think that you telegraphed that you had that Geddon, but you chose to cast the Witch Hunter instead, which is also just a very powerful card against against his deck. I like the Witch Hunter. It's a cool card.
Yeah.
I like it quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to be able to keep the trike in his hand after he regrowthed for it.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Yeah, getting triked twice is basically impossible for me to recover from.
Mhm.
And then you must have just drawn planes, runner in the
Yes,
you know,
so that's the
crucial point in the game.
The pivotal point of the game, I drew planes, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess I'm out.
Yeah.
All
Because
right,
I was trying to race that div as hard as I could.
It was really cleanly played though. I don't think that I've seen either one of you make a mistake. I saw David Ellis maybe tap his Pendelhaven when he could have chosen a different land at one point, but it didn't make a difference at all over the course of the match. Just really clean magic, gentlemen.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys. So, we need to determine who's going to play first in this match.
Yeah, why don't we do the spinning?
All right, we'll do the spinny call during the rotation.
Yep.
And if it hits something or goes off, then
Yeah,
we'll
no
just...
worries.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Okay.
Tails.
All right. So DFB calls tails.
You got
His
heads.
Should have
All right,
stuck with the one
gentlemen.
that brought me. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. You guys have a good match. Let us see some more excellent magic because you have done so all day long. So good luck, and we will
you.
see you after the match is done.
Yep. All right. I've shuffled this.
Ooh. Wow. So, this is definitely a great day to be playing Magic, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been a really fantastic series of matches that these two have played. There's some notable cards that we've yet to see out of both players' decks. But as far as consistency is concerned, I think that both these guys are able to do what they want to do. DFB's consistently applied tremendous amounts of pressure quite early. But as we saw in the last game, his deck can sputter out if David Ellis is able to go over the top.
Yeah. So those who are just joining us, the disembodied voice you hear is Ken Fritz. He is joining me for commentary. We are playing in the Champ of Champs. This is the final match. David Ellis took the last match, which gave Dave Firth Bard his very first loss of the tournament. It is double elimination, so that means that they get to play another match of old school Magic 7-point Singleton. This one is for the crown. So, if you want to learn anything about 7-point Singleton Magic, then the link is in the chat. You can go to the Facebook group and you can find out. We are about to start the May event, which is definitely going to be fun. And then another thing too is if you search for 7-point Singleton 9394 old school MTG, you will find us. There's a auction going on now for the Dwarven Warrior cards on the site. The Dwarven Warrior being the card that represents 7-point Singleton. So David Ellis starting with a Ivory Tower and DFB with a Tundra Wolves. So we
The
are
tower on the draw, isn't the best play. He doesn't want to skip his land drop, but it will prove difficult for DFB to overcome if Ellis is able to get a Brain Geyser or a Sylvan or a Time Twister and fill that hand back up.
Blazer telling me that the auction closed an hour ago. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. My fault. Okay, so David Ellis plays a land. He plays a Fellwar Stone and goes back down to 4 cards. But there's nothing saying that he's not going to have more cards in his hand later on. He is playing Brain Geyser. So he's playing Time Twister as well.
And so now Ivory Tower is, it's a dead card. It's pay 1, gain 1. I like Ivory Tower a lot, but I play it when I'm using Transmute Artifact because Ivory Tower can be fantastic and it can also be totally worthless.
Yeah. So this Copper Tablet is going to do some work here. All right, so that brings David Ellis down to 14. Sorry, 19. My fault. DFB is at 19, but DFB has the 1 point of damage coming in from the creature every turn.
Keep your finger on the life total button there, Rich.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
It's gonna get confusing here.
Yeah. The Vultures and the Clergy.
DFB's coming out hot. He likes that Copper Tablet, and the Copper Tablet's gonna put the nail in the coffin.
Okay, so what's going to happen is that David Ellis is going to take a point, and then he's going to gain the point right back, so he is back at 18. It's not going to matter right now, but it could matter later on down the road if his life total gets low enough.
Well, what's he thinking here? Old Man of the Sea, maybe?
Control Magic? I don't think
I
Control Magic's the
don't think I want to control any of that stuff.
Dib?
He likes it.
Okay. Down to 4 cards.
I don't think DFB minds the dib. He could just sit
it's
there.
Dealing additional damage to David Ellis. So
Yeah.
okay, attacking with 3 creatures. DFB representing Army of Allah again.
Army of Allah still won't take that Afreed out of the sky. I think DFB just figures I'm just going to push the damage through when I can.
Yep. So
He's probably got a fistful of creatures anyways. And the Thunder Spirit.
David Ellis down to 16. Thunder Spirit comes out to join the party. All right, so David Ellis takes 2 on his upkeep down to 14.
Yeah.
4 cards in hand.
And this is a clock. I mean, David Ellis, I think, wants to just sit. Oh,
or
no.
he can take the... That works. All right, he takes the Thunder Spirit.
That does it.
And attacks.
Copper Tablet is so cool. It's going to get the job done one way or the other. I mean...
Right. Mucky Star, no, this is not the April final. This is the final in the Champion of Champions tournament now.
Yeah, the same 2 guys made both of them, So
Yeah,
it
how
shows
awesome
you
is
that it's not just luck.
Mm-hmm. DFB down to 14. He had to bring the keyboard closer to me so that I can get these life totals more accurately and more quickly.
Yeah. So what does he do now? He wants a disenchant, I think. Oh, okay.
I think you block the Clergy here. Pay the 1 so that it can't regenerate.
Yeah. You got to pay 1. Dave, because your Clergy dies,
Yep.
You got to pay for it.
Okay, here he goes. Okay, pay 1 to prevent it from regenerating. Go down to 13. He's got 3 cards in hand, so his Ivory Tower isn't going to do anything. Amru Kithkin. Well, it can be blocked by the Thunder Spirit.
Ooh,
Right,
the Order of Leaper is fantastic.
Order of Leaper is really, really good here. Okay, so
Well, I
David
mean,
Ellis is going to take 2.
Trade the Thunder Spirit for it, but
Yeah.
it at least keeps the Thunder Spirit home.
All right, so David Ellis is down to 11.
I think he keeps his cards. He stays at 4.
Mm-hmm.
He really wants that Ivory Tower online. I don't know
Plays
that
a
I'd play that unless I have a Trike or a
Oh,
Mahamodi.
there we go. What do we got? Okay, Triskelion.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wipes out the table. Attacks for 5. Brings the FB down to 9. And then DFB's at 8 on the upkeep. Divine Offering on the Trike. Huge.
It's something. I mean, it's 6 life, but I don't... He's probably not going to wiggle out of it. His hand is empty. He didn't drop another creature. That Trike has done its job.
Yeah. David Ellis down to 9, but he's attacking for 5 this turn.
That Trike 4 for 1'd him.
It did.
Yeah, I think if he gets to 6 mana, the Trike is the best card David Ellis could get. And now we're tied up.
All right, both at 9s.
Oh, that's
Time
it.
Wow.
And that's why he's got Time Walk in the deck, you
Yeah.
know? Time Walk was 3 points until last month. And so if this was his championship deck, I wonder what he changed around. Maybe he put the Time Walk and then just added the Time Twister?
All right, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Brings DFB down to 2. Side Blast for the win.
Neg 2 and 5. Wow, so David Ellis has ripped off 3 wins in a row, and we go to game 2.
Wow. So let's take a look at these decks again, because this is absolutely amazing. These are the draws that David Ellis needs in order to win. You know, he needs to draw his haymakers. He needs to have that counterspell in hand just in case something happens on DFB side of the table. So
Well, David Ellis getting the Serendib and the Trike has been key to all of his victories. The early Serendib just keeps so much of DFB's stuff at home, or as we see, DFB just bum rushes into the Ifrit, and winds up just sacrificing a creature to deal 2 damage.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the longer the game goes, the better off it is for David Ellis. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. I mean, DFB wants to rely on putting a lot of damage out, but
he wants that Ankh of Mishra. If he can get the Ankh of Mishra on board real early, the Copper Tablet was fantastic. If he had gotten the Ankh, I think it would have spelled disaster for David Ellis. I feel like DFB had an optimum start. It's just David Ellis. He's playing 3 colors. The average value of David Ellis's cards are just higher. I mean, that's just a fundamental fact of playing 3 colors. So if Ellis is able to stabilize and they're both in top deck mode, it definitely favors David Ellis, simply because he's got the Brain Geyser, he's got the Time Walk, he's got the Control Magic.
yeah, if DFB can just deploy a bunch of creatures and swing and make them big, then he's going to win. If that
that's what he did last game, and David Ellis just mopped him up by dropping 1 Serendib Ifrit that DFB couldn't deal with, and that even though Ellis was taking 2 per turn between the Ifrit and the tablet, the Efreet essentially won that game, and then the Trike put the nail in the coffin.
Right. When he cast that Trike, I wasn't sure if he was going to cast a Trike or if he was going to cast a Brain Geyser, both of which are absolutely amazing in that situation.
Oh yeah, with the tower out, that Brain Geyser would have swung it the other way widely as well.
All right, so DFB goes first. Planes into a Clergy of the Holy Nimbus. Mishra's Factory from David Ellis. White Knight.
White Knight.
But this factory can hold off that White Knight.
It can. So what does DFB want to do here?
He just
so he just stays home. This time he chose to keep his guys at home.
Right,
so that means that DFB doesn't have the Plow, the Disenchant, or the Divine Offering.
Mm-hmm. And this is what David Ellis wants. He wants...
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
And he takes the 3.
Again, beat a dead horse, but the factory being able to tap and kill the knight, it does make a difference.
Yeah, so DFB getting an Anthem was pretty big here, because now the factory can't hold off that White Knight. But
he doesn't have the blue mana.
yeah, no blue from David Ellis, and just the body language of that was just huge. Armageddon. That's probably game over. All right,
there it is.
So Disenchant on the Angelic Voices. All the lands are gone.
3
Swing
damage.
for 3. Down to 13. DFB plays a land.
DFB is loving this. This is exactly how he drew it up in the locker room. He's executing the game plan here. Yeah.
David Ellis has 8 cards and has to discard, I believe.
Yeah, the only thing that brings David Ellis back into this game is a runner like Ivory Tower land.
Yeah.
Otherwise he's just dead to rights at this point.
Discards the Rubinia Soul Singer, which is obviously probably never seeing play.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And he's just letting DFB do DFB things.
Oh. That's it.
All right. Well.
And
have
we've
a
seen
match.
what happens when DFB gets the Armageddon.
Mm-hmm. And, the thing is that David Ellis stumbled on mana, which happens when you play 3 colors. So,
yeah.
And
I mean, he got 4 lands into play, and with those 4 lands, he can cast, 90% of his deck or 50% of his deck at least. But, his key cards, Control Magic, Serendib, Wrath of God, he needs to be able to cast those cards. And if he can't, he's just, I don't think he's going to be able to win.
Right. So, a couple of cards from David Ellis that we have not yet seen. We have not seen his Power Sink. We haven't seen his Juggernaut.
Yeah. Juggernaut's interesting, but I do like its inclusion here because, as we saw last game, in 3 colors, there will be circumstances where he just simply doesn't have the right colored mana for the fantastic spells in his hand.
Right.
Juggernaut allows him to cast a fatty, and he's not real heavy on artifacts, to be honest. So,
speaking of artifacts, another card we have not seen out of David Ellis is his Steel Artifact, which actually is probably a good thing because there really isn't a lot to steal that DFB would care about. I mean, what are you going to do? Try to steal a Chaos Orb while it's while he's tapped down
No,
or an alien
I think
pile.
Steel Artifact is the worst card in Ellis's deck.
Yeah. So this definitely should be interesting. This one is for everything. The winner becomes the champion of champions, and then the loser gets nothing.
It's nothing.
So David Ellis is on the play here, which is definitely huge. He needs to develop his mana as quickly as he can. So ideally he goes turn 2. Turn 1 Birds of Paradise would be good. Turn 2 a Fellwar Stone or an Untamed Wilds would be pretty good. If he can get to 4 or 5 mana and only have taken a couple of points of damage, then that should be a win for him.
Yeah. Again, it's the same thing he wants to do. He's got to get one of his 3 mana creatures on board. The Serendib Efreet is card advantage because it keeps almost all of DFB's deck at home. We haven't seen him really utilize the Old Man of the Sea and the Preacher, but those are kind of tough to cast in a 3-color deck.
Right.
So I think the key card for Ellis is that Serendib. I really do.
And Ellis keeping DFB going down on the mulligan here. Now DFB has been pretty aggressive with his mulligans. Anytime that he's played his White Weenie deck, regardless of which format it is, he knows the hands that he wants. He knows the hands that he wants to keep, and he knows the ones that he wants to throw back. And he's really aggressive about it, and you kind of have to be when it comes to a deck like this.
I don't think he minds mulliganing.
No.
He's got the balance. He's got the land tax. If he gets either one of those in his hand, he's happy winning mulligans. And he's only playing 18 land. He only really needs 2-3 land to operate his deck effectively. So a mulliganing in a White Weenie deck it's not as big a deal. If David Ellis were to go down to 6, it hurts him a lot more because he is using stuff like Ivory Tower and
Another thing too is DFB is on the draw here, so the mulligan doesn't hurt him nearly as badly because of the fact that he's so aggressive. He's going to get that 7th card right back. The disembodied voice that you hear, I am talking to, that is Ken Fritz. He is helping me with the commentary for this match. This is the Champion of Champions tournament. This is the final match. It is 1-1. Dave Ellis was able to take the first match. It is double elimination. So we are now in game number 3 of match number 2 in the finals.
Again, with that early factory, I don't think we've seen DFB get the strip mine.
Not yet, but maybe now that you said something specifically about that, then maybe it'll happen or not. All right, so Order of Leaper.
So if DFB has 1 more planes, that order is going to look at that factory as nothing more than a speed bump.
Right.
Alternatively, he could band them for 1 mana. Oh, no. Okay, so
There's
if he bans them, it does save him some mana, but he can't... What's he going to do here? He's got to assign... So he's going to band them. Right.
Yep. He's going to band.
And then that saves him 2 mana, so he could cast, his White Knight or whatever he's going to follow this up with. Or he could keep his mana open for a Disenchant or a Divine Offering. So don't sleep on that Infantry, man. It's a good card. Oh, he could pay 1 and give it first strike, and then give the order first strike. And then he loses nothing. So he correctly chooses not to block.
Right, going down to 16. All right. King Suleiman.
That's fantastic. Yep.
Counterspell.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got to.
It drew the counter. That's I mean, that shows a lot of respect for that king.
But that also means that there's no counterspell left in the deck for the Armageddon.
Well, he does have a power sink.
Right.
So
Time Walk. Okay. That works. So 16s apiece.
So he's which land to play?
Right. He was going to play a forest. He does end up playing that forest. Still no white.
1 green.
Ivory Tower.
Yep. So that's why he was deciding, am I going to play it or not?
3
Because
cards.
it does make a difference.
Okay, so Ivory Tower actually can mitigate an Armageddon. So
It can, but if he was worried about the Geddon, he shouldn't have played that forest, right? Because
Right.
it's a double. It does 2 things there.
all right, so the same play from DFB that he made a couple turns ago, banding them together. Whoops.
I think that this game is going a little bit too fast for David Ellis at this point.
Copper Tablet.
Oh, and that is just gonna speed things up.
Okay, so David Ellis is down to 12. He's facing down 2 creatures and a Copper Tablet.
I mean, at this point, I think David Ellis wanted to attack with that factory last turn after his time walk. You know, he would have put him at 14, and then on this turn, he's going to put DFB to 12. The Copper Tablet puts him to 11, and there we go. We've got parity.
There's a land. Are we going to see a trike?
Or
Yep.
a Mahamoti.
Brain Geyser for 4.
Oh.
Okay.
And that's why I played the land. And now he goes up to 6. He can stabilize here. This could...
So he's got 1 scary turn.
Yeah.
So DFB takes a point. It's down to 15. Scary turn for David Ellis here. He takes 4.
And then he's going to cast another creature?
All right. Repentant Blacksmith.
So the issue for David Ellis is he still hasn't found a single white source.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's at 7. He's going to gain 2.
But he's got to take 1. So he's going to be a net 1.
9. Oh yeah, net up 1. Yeah.
Yeah,
9.
because of the Copper Tablet. He takes 1 from the tablet, then gains 2.
Repentant Blacksmith. Not a card you see every day, but a 1/2 protection from red. You know, after a crusade, he's happy to go charging through.
Right. All right, there's a white source for David Ellis.
So he must want to do something here. Or maybe he's got 2 planes and he's going to... Oh, he's got a regrowth.
Regrowth on the Time Walk or regrowth on the Brain Geyser?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd take the Brain Geyser. No.
Felwar Stone.
Okay.
All right, that gets his double white. Is he going to Wrath here?
Yeah. Oh, no, Preacher.
Okay.
Man, our guesses are way off. What's the archaeologist going to get for him?
Archaeologist can't get him anything right now, but it
Yeah,
can...
so
Aliopile? Okay, he casts the Aliopile and kills the knight. Okay.
okay, so now he's got value.
Yep. So, I mean, he's going to take some damage here, but then he can stabilize with the Aliopile and the Archaeologist.
That was a wild swing of events. Ellis had a fantastic turn.
Swords to plowshares. Up to 10. Taking 2.
This is a manageable loss of life, though. I think David Ellis can stabilize with that factory.
Yeah.
The Mesa
Especially
Pegasus.
With all the mana that he has available, Mesa Pegasus. There you go.
Yeah,
You said you wanted to see it, so
I told you, man. It's flying. It bans. It's flying and it bans.
Mhm.
You know what could go wrong?
Right.
You always want to use Mesa Pegasus if you have access to one. I strongly suggest you pick one up, man.
yeah. Mucky Star in chat. The art on Mesa Pegasus. Absolutely. It's beautiful art.
But watch the Mesa Pegasus fly over and dish out some beats. Okay, so he's gonna play.
So you're gonna Wrath?
I don't
Control
know, an
Magic?
Icy or something. He's got an answer for that Pegasus.
Earn him?
That'll do it.
I mean, that's not great, but I mean, the Pegasus can still come over for 1. TFB's down to 13. Pegasus attacks for 1. Brings David Ellis down to 6.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Javelineer.
I think DFB is gonna. He's so close to the finish line.
Divine
Oh,
Offering on the Copper Tablet. That brings David Ellis to 8, so he doesn't take damage on his upkeep anymore.
yeah. So this is getting more and more interesting here. The Javelineer, I mean, DFB, if he would try to block and kill the Urnum, but he doesn't really care about the Urnum, you know?
Right. And the Urnum is just basically stopping some attack. Okay. Chaos Orb.
I would love to see a Chaos Orb targeting a Mesa Pegasus. I don't think it's ever been done in the history of Magic. This could be a first.
Alright, attack for 4. Oh, DFB just takes it. Okay.
Well, yeah, the Javelineer isn't on board yet. So there's I think he just takes it because right now he could push some damage across.
Strip Mine.
Oh, there it goes. That's what he wanted. Turn them all sideways. Is he gonna orb the Javelineer or the Pegasus?
I mean, I really think that he needs to take care of the Pegasus because that's guaranteed damage on DFB's side every single turn.
Yeah.
David Ellis flashing his hand. He does have the power sink.
They all have their merits. DFB just says, it's gonna be the Pegasus. For all that is holy. Orb the Pegasus. Yep. That makes sense. The Javelineer damage can't be blocked, but now that the Copper Tablet's gone, I think he's gonna leave the Urnum at home.
David Ellis cracking his
Oh,
knuckles,
he's stretching.
making a show of this.
This is great.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful
Dead
flip.
on. No pressure at all. So he gets rid of the Javelineer. And then he's going to take 3. Bringing him down to 5.
So who gets Forest Walk?
Pegasus still gets Forest Walk, I'm going to assume. Alright, J-Loom Tome.
And is his hand empty now? Or no, he's got that power sink that you
He
mentioned
has the
earlier.
power sink. He can't tap
But-
all 3 blue for that. He can't tap all 3 blue. That would
Oh, come on.
be a death sentence for him because he could never cast that power sink.
Okay. I like how he purposely taps 2 blue so that he kind of like he's saying, "Oh, don't worry about me. I can't. I couldn't possibly have a counterspell. I don't know that I activate the tome on my main phase here. What's he gonna find?
Especially for leaving up green and blue mana.
Yeah, like what? I mean, what would he what would he have found that would have been beneficial
I
or
definitely
better
would like an
than
attack here.
being able to power sink? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that he should have left some white mana up to at least draw into something like Swords of Plowshares.
I agree with you. Yeah. I agree. So he passes. Geddon. He drew the Geddon. That chuckle, I think, means Geddon. Or yet another Plains. I wonder what DFB's been drawing these last couple turns. We'll have to ask him after the match.
Alright, attacking with everything. Gotta block one of them. Obviously.
He must block. And then he's going to Army of Allah. Maybe win. I don't know. If he has the Army of Allah, he wins this game, doesn't he?
He's asking which one he's blocking.
Okay, just 2.
It's a nail biter. Okay.
Okay,
attacks.
that's probably what he chuckled at because it's so late in the game. But
right.
David Ellis can't just sit there. He's got to do something because that Pegasus
Yeah.
has him on a 3-turn clock.
Yeah,
and
he's dead in a couple of turns. Definitely needs to do something. Okay, draw and discard.
he draws the Crusade, the Voices, the Army of Allah, or the Jihad, and that Pegasus suddenly is winning the game, you know? Ooh.
Arenia. Okay.
This is coming to the wire, and we couldn't have asked for a better final match to the final match, you know?
Okay, so DFB is going in deep, grabbing 3 lands, I'm sure. He's getting all 3 of them. Ancestral Recall here, thinning his deck, and making sure that he has the best chance possible to draw the best card possible. So what can he
the
draw
best
here?
card possible is Army of Allah or Jihad.
Yeah, Army of Allah wins on the spot. Jihad wins on the spot.
Yeah. Aliopile wins on the spot.
Oh yeah.
That's the best he could hope for at this point, I think. Yeah, so he's, I mean...
Caracas. Yep, chat is saying Caracas.
No, even Caracas doesn't...
Caracas doesn't
help him
win,
a
but
whole lot,
it would
to
just be
honest.
awesome. All right, so he didn't draw business. Tundra Wolves. All right.
Okay. And Ellis gets to look at 2 cards here with
He
this
does.
with this book.
Draw and discard. We could not have asked for a better match. This has been absolutely amazing.
And David Ellis still has the power sink. So I think at this point in the game, it's all but a foregone conclusion unless David Ellis somehow inexplicably taps all the way out.
Okay, so he's got to attack with the Urnum here. It gets a creature off DFB's side of the table. I don't think DFB would just go down to 1, but
I think he does. I think he goes down to 1. I think he has to, because he needs... Oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would take it, because he's in an all-or-nothing situation at this point. A Psyblast would end in a tie, right? Or
yeah, Psyblast would end in a tie, and we have to play game number 4. How awesome would that be?
As if these guys haven't played enough Magic today.
All right, so untap. On the upkeep, take the Pegasus. Makes sense.
Okay.
Land tax for 3. Get more lands out of the deck to draw a card. Now, there isn't anything that DFB could draw right now to win automatically.
Yeah, Aeliopile.
Oh, yeah, Aeliopile. You're right. I gotcha. Okay.
Chaos Orb would be fantastic.
It would be definitely good, but he doesn't win on the spot with a Chaos Orb.
No, he does not.
But yeah, Aeliopile is for the win. Yeah. And that would be it.
So, does he have anything other than land in his hand? He's got to have some. Maybe he's got like a Dust to Dust, but I have to think he would have used the Dust to Dust just to cast it.
Right. Well, especially with the book on the
tome.
Table. Get rid of the Jalem Tome and something like the Ivory Tower. I'm sure.
This is the risk you run. I mean, what if he just drew like a Knights of Thorn? Something that's just like ugh. He doesn't even want to see this type of stuff.
Nyarla top deck. Yeah, the Copper Tablet is already gone. It's in his graveyard. So. Okay, so now the Thunderwolves get the Forest Walk.
What do you?
Oh, he's untapping. Okay,
Yeah.
Untapping, give whatever Forest Walk, and then steal whatever has Forest Walk.
Give the Pegasus Forest Walk and
Yep.
take it again.
That's a good heads-up play. I like that.
Well, I may have kept the Pegasus because he does have the Pendelhaven. So maybe he's getting a little too fancy, because if he keeps the Pegasus, it flies over for 2 damage and puts DFB at 3.
Yeah, and it would have made DFB have to block with that Thunderwolves.
Yeah.
Four cards in hand for David Ellis. Still dead to an Aeliopile. Alright, blocking with the Thunderwolves.
With an Air Elemental.
There we go. Okay.
I think this is it.
I think this is it also. DFB needs to rip that Aeliopile.
Yep. Or the balance.
Or the balance, yep. Balance would be pretty good here. DFB would discard a bunch of lands.
I don't think he...
Yeah, I know. I don't think he cares.
Yeah, I think he wants to balance and keep a Sarah Angel in his hand. And it would be just a really... a balance or an Aeliopile. So he's got 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
So is DFB going to flip it over and show us all what it is?
I don't know. I hope he does. Now, if we were playing in person and I were David Ellis, DFB presents this deck, I don't cut. It's like, let fate decide.
Yeah. Look at him shuffling his deck. He knows that it all comes down to this. It all comes down to this. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Preacher.
Oh.
Armageddon.
Wow. What a match.
Wow. And our winner is David Ellis. Wow. That was some excellent magic. So let's close
Well
the
done.
commentary
Doesn't really get
room
much
and let's go
tighter than
talk
that.
to the guys.
No, it doesn't. Hey, dude, everyone goes home happy.
Gentlemen, that was absolutely
And
wonderful
congratulations.
magic. You guys gave us such a show. Hold on, I got DFB, I got you upside down. 1 minute. Oh, of course I goofed that up too, didn't I?
Gentlemen, what a well-played match. I don't think that we could have asked for any better magic. I mean, I'm just looking over my score sheet here. DFB, you went down to -2. Ellis, you were at 5. The next game was a steamroll. DFB 20, Ellis 3. But this last game, 5-2. I mean, I just love to have all these strikes through the life. It's so much back and forth.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. What were you thinking after you brain geysered? You just ripped the nuts off in game 1 there, David. That was wonderful.
Yeah, no, it was a very powerful brain geyser. I was tempted to block with the factory.
Right.
Then I knew I had the brain geyser, and I figured he had removal or some kind of pump, so I didn't want to lose tempo and lose that Mishra's.
Yeah.
I knew I could get a free swing with the factory, time walk, gain another land drop, and in order to deploy a bigger brain geyser.
Exactly. I saw you kind of considering the land drops because you had the tower in play already, and you were considering the land drops, and you know we kind of I could kind of hear the gears working all the way from over here, and I think that you made the right choices and pulled it out. Let me ask you about this other choice that you made when you were constructing your deck.
Mm-hmm.
You have a time walk in there. Now, when you won the event with this deck, was time walk a 3-point card?
A 2-point card.
It was 2 points when you won? Because I know that I think I hate to keep using the word point, but at some point in time walk was 3 and then it went down to 2, right?
Yeah, I was definitely able to take advantage of that. It's so powerful, especially with regrowth.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of playing Time Twister instead of Recall.
Uh-huh.
I was usually defensive against Burn with Cyril in the semifinals to get back to rematch Dave Firth Bard here. But I was too afraid to cast Time Twister when he had so many weenies and could just drop his whole hand immediately.
Yeah.
It
I was
really was better
curious if
against
you ever
control
had
matchups.
Time Twister, because it looked like I didn't see very many instances where you would have even had wanted to have it. But the Time Walk is definitely a very cool addition to your deck. And, you know, looking at the lists over the months, I almost never see the Time Walk. So I do appreciate it. And you used it to maximum effect to get some beats in with the Mahamodi, do some stuff. You get an extra look with the library. It's a well thought out deck, man.
Oh, thank you. And definitely Dave's deck raised my blood pressure too. So
I mean,
so
Dave's deck did
you know,
white
so many
weenie
one
things
drops.
the way that it was supposed to. Those games that he won, it was dude, swing, you're dead. And if he gives you too much time, so that you're able to develop a board, then he doesn't like that. So
I mean, games 1 and 3 on the second match were a lot of back and forth. But when you have an Armageddon like that, that game 2 was such an utter blowout.
Yeah.
It deploys fast, and it's hard. I'm glad to have the Mishras and a few other defensive measures. I was almost tempted to put in Prodigal Sorcerer.
That card is so good. Again,
That
But
would've been
I ended
real
up going
effective
Trike
against
over
DFB.
it.
So-
I'm glad I did Trike, because Trike saved me.
DFB, you notably, I don't think I saw the appearance of your Pendelhaven, which is a really cool decision.
Yeah.
And the Swords to Plowshares, and I kind of have to think that with you not getting the Swords to Plowshares, with you not drawing the orb, that Serendib that David was able to deploy real early, that like swung the tide, because you were just throwing creatures at that guy, and he was gaining some massive advantage when you'd have to turn everybody sideways. What was your thoughts when you were just throwing 3 creatures into the dip?
Was that game 1 of the final match?
It actually happened a couple times, I remember, where you were making he got an early dib into play, and you had say 3 weenies.
I'm always thrilled to see a dib. I will race a dib any day of the week.
Yeah.
I thought that I thought that I was really excited to see Serendib, Afreet, and like Juggernaut in his list, actually, because they stick out to me as much more aggressive cards than the rest of the pile. Obviously, I mean, it gives him flexibility. Like he can race me if he needs to with cards like that.
Exactly.
But like in the situation where like he had a dib and I had the Copper Tablet in play, and he's taking 2 a turn, I'm like, I feel really good if that's.
I thought I was going to lose that game, and
me too.
I couldn't go on offense.
Holds for even a few turns. I'm really really happy with that.
Yeah.
So I'm always happy to throw a guy under the bus into the dib, hoping just racing. All you need to do is 2 points of damage to race a dib, every turn, and I'm always happy to do it.
Yeah, if I didn't have the Divine Offering to get rid of that tablet, you would have had that game. And going swinging was the correct choice. I was sitting on that Divine Offering because it's like he's going to be calculating this down to the wire. It's going to be 1 or 2 life. It's going to make the difference. And it feels real bad sitting on defense with the dib, and double bad with the Copper Tablet.
Yeah.
Double bad.
Yeah, I was hoping to rip a Spirit Link. I do have some life gain in the deck, so that would have been fine then to go on offense with the Spirit Link dib. But right then I was just kind of stalling for time.
It's almost comical looking at DFB's list. I mean, there's nothing that you could have possibly wanted to steal unless he's somehow blocking with his factory for some kind of crazy reason. So I just always I was like looking at those 2 cards in particular. What are you going to take? I mean, I think DFB
has
wants to see
almost
that
no
off.
targets against his deck.
Yeah,
I hit his factory 1 game out of 6. Other than that, he's got the Chaos Orb. Doesn't do anything against Aeopile unless he's tapped out.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's
Steel Artifact is a total dud. Otherwise, it's usually an all-star. But against DFB's list, I did not want to see Steel Artifact.
Yeah,
Steel Artifact is a bomb in the format for sure. I mean, by design, people are like, why don't you have, name that artifact in your deck, Ice Manipulator? I'm like, because I can blank, cards like Steel Artifact, like Detonate to a lesser extent. My stuff is consumable, or it does nothing if you steal it. If you steal a Copper Tablet, it still pings everyone. It doesn't matter.
Congratulations, But I do like that sort of design, and we've seen that a lot out of the decks that I've examined of yours that have been posted. DFB, you do a really good job of making sure that you will nerf some number of cards and just make them absolutely valueless. I think if David Ellis sees a Steel Artifact in his opening draw, he's like, well, I might as well mulligan, because I'm not going to, go down to 6? I mean, who cares? I'm already at 6,
Yeah.
Very
that
cool.
was true.
Very good design.
I did mulligan 1 game with that Steel Artifact. It was, the same as a dead draw.
Yeah, exactly. No Jihad. I mean, there were some cards that at either one of you had drawn it, I think DFB, if you had drawn a jihad in almost any of those games,
Oh,
it
yeah.
would have been it
Yeah.
would have been game over, you
Yeah.
know, in a matter of rounds. And then we were talking while you guys were playing. I don't think you could hear us, and I said, you know, DFB's using the Caracas, and it's cost him a point. And I was saying, God, it's just an awful card to use a point on. But you know, Rubinia ended up making a difference. So I guess I was wrong, because if you had the Caracas at that point, you would have been able to do some work with it. Did you find that Caracas helped you out throughout the event, or did you ever really use it for its intended purpose?
No, I mean, this was definitely the match where it was most live, and I'm happy because Rubinia is a really bad news situation for my deck. Obviously. For this event, I was just experimenting with. So Mox Pearl is 3 points right now, and Tax is 2 points, and Caracas is 1. So I've been using Pearl in most builds, and I just wanted to experiment with Tax this time. I had a point left over, so I just put Caracas in at basically no cost.
And two things I want to point out briefly. I think it was game 1 or game 2 in the first series of 3 with our 7-point decks. The decision to strip mine when I had 1 basic of each. You took out white. I was sitting on a Wrath of God in hand.
Yes.
So that was the right call.
Nice.
Cinch it. I mean, I didn't, play planes for a while, but at the very end, I drew a Savannah. It's like, man, that would have been my second white source. That would have been real good right about now.
Yep.
No, you guys played such a tight series of matches. It almost felt like you were both had glasses of Urza. I mean, it just seemed like it was just back and forth. I'm not going to say it was just luck of the draw, but I mean, it seemed like at the end of every game, you guys were in top deck mode.
Yep.
Anything that you drew was essentially a haymaker. And just wonderfully played Magic. I think you guys know both of these decks that you're piloting very, very well, inside and out. And look at the tails and the tape. 6 games. I think if we add all the life up, we're gonna wind up equal. I loved it. It was very entertaining.
It was great to watch, and you guys played at a high level, which is really, really good. If you guys go back and you watch the VOD of this, I don't think you're gonna find that there's any mistakes or anything that you guys made. So like DFB, even though you lost, I think you can be happy with how you played and everything that happened. You guys are like David Ellis, you are scratching and clawing to make sure that you don't lose some of these games. And
we're definitely on the back foot for quite a while.
Yeah.
And pointing to Caracas, we just saw the last game with Rubinia in play. But there was another game when Dave Firthbard had Caracas out, and I had the Rubinia in hand.
Yeah,
and did not enjoy it because of the tempo loss. So we didn't see it because I never revealed my hand, but I really wish I had been able to cast Rubinia in one other game in that series, and I was unable to do so due to the Caracas.
Right, right.
Yeah. And then game 2 of the second series, I was hoping to blow you out, Dave Firth, when you had the angelic voices and that White Knight. I had the disenchant and was hoping to take him out there.
Right.
And I had a choice. I had Rubinia in hand and Untamed Wilds, and I could have
gone and got
an island.
Yeah.
But I had Power Sink. So if you had Armageddon, I would have had the counter for 1.
Yeah. Wow.
Armageddon. If he has it, he has it. Otherwise, I can get a 2-for-1, basically blocking that White Knight.
Yep.
And ultimately, it was the wrong call. You had the right cards, and but that was a hard decision there. And in retrospect, it was the wrong one. But
no, it wasn't. I mean, you only had the information of what's in your hand and what's on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly didn't think that you made the wrong decision.
Agreed.
You could have made a different decision in a couple of different instances that may have changed things. But as far as what you were doing, I saw nothing but nothing but the best, man. I think maybe there was one instance where you untapped in game 3 of the second set where you untapped Rubinia, gave him his Pegasus back when you could have gone in for 2 by using your Pendelhaven or some like little minor details like that at the end proved to be inconsequential. I mean,
I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that whatever I gave Forest Walk, because I needed to respect a crusade or a jihad or an army of Allah.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
if he could swing in for one forest walk, there's a number of ways he can pump it up. So I had to, whatever he had forest walk, I had to take it the turn so that it would just have summoning sickness and couldn't fight in. So it was a little bit slower trying to go there at the end for the win on game 3, but I had to respect, he had obviously he still had the outs of Aeopile no matter what, if he top decked that. But it just multiplied his outs with
in
with
game 3, you gained a very little bit of life off that ivory tower, but that was huge. Obviously, with how low your life total got, that was absolutely huge. That that you were able to gain even just a little bit, and that was 17 turns prior to the game ending. So that was definitely pretty cool. That ended up making an impact on the game.
Yeah, every little bit matters. You can stabilize at 1 or 2,
and we have to just give 6 games. So huge kudos to Dave, and of course the first 0 point was not even a contest, turning over sideways. So undisputed 0 point champion with Dave Firth Bard, and it could have gone either way in those next 2 game series for 7 points. But I was hoping to deploy some stuff and give you a run for your money for that 0 point, but you had all the outs, and it was aggressive and decisive.
Well, everybody goes home happy. So thanks everyone for being a part of this.
You gave us a great night. 3 absolutely great matches of Magic. So thank you all. Ken, thank you for being here for commentary.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Dave, thank you very much for excellent Magic. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to stream this. This was a blast. It was great to watch. It was great to broadcast, and I'm hoping that everybody else enjoyed it as well. All right. So,
thank you so much.
Take care.
Aloha. Aloha.
Bye. So that's that, everybody. David Ellis is your grand champion for the Champion of Champions tournament. I appreciate everybody who joined the stream today. You can join me again Tuesday night and every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for my regularly scheduled Tuesday night stream. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic each and every Tuesday night with the Northern Paladins as part of the Tuesday night gauntlet. And then we also have on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central European Summertime, X Point Old School here on the stream. So with that, I'm signing off. You all have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the show. And with that, I will see you next time. Take care.